I absolutely love making roast chicken, so today I'm making a very special roast chicken with some premium ingredients from Ocado, and I thought I'd invite you along for the journey. I'm going to show you all of my cooking techniques and of course the final meal, and we're going to try it. Hope you enjoy the video. Let's go. So welcome to Food Review UK Vlogs everyone. This is going to be fantastic. Let me show you some of the ingredients that I've got. So we'll be using like goose fat, and we've got this very special chicken from a company called The Thoughtful Producer. First of all though, I need to work out what I'm actually doing because there's quite a lot of components here, including like Yorkshire pudding and whatever, so it needs some special timings. It's 12:41 now and I've worked out everything that needed to be worked out. So I've got several stages here. The chicken is going in first, then the temperature comes down, then the potatoes go in. Actually, I need to put the oven in to warm up for the potatoes as well actually. Then carrots in, then broccoli, then the chicken comes out and the temperature goes up. The oil for the Yorkshire pudding goes in. Then the Yorkshire puddings go in, and then everything comes out, and it should be wonderful. The very first thing that I need to do is prepare the trivet for underneath the chicken. So there's a few vegetables and herbs and whatnot that I put underneath the chicken, because at the end I will blitz everything that's beneath the chicken up for the gravy. Okay, so here's the trivet. We've got potato, carrots and garlic. Okay, so the chicken is now on the trivet, and we're going to put that in along with the goose fat and oil, which is the blend I'm using for the roast potatoes, so that'll warm up the oil, and then we can prepare the potatoes and the other bits. It's at this point that I should say the style of cooking video that I like on YouTube are the ones that explain the reasons for doing things. Especially people like Ethan Chabowski, where they explain the science behind what they're doing. And I watched a cooking show recently where they said that for root vegetables, so carrots, potatoes, etc., you should, when you're boiling them, you should start with cold water and bring that up to boil, so anything that's a root vegetable. But they didn't say why. I've never done it, and I've always had successful results. So if you know the reason why you should do that, let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, I'm just going to proceed as normal, guys. So let's boil the kettle. Okay, it's 1:20, so it's time to turn the oven down and prepare the potatoes. So the potatoes are prepared, just going to wait a little bit longer before boiling them. I've just finished listening to the latest episode of the award-winning podcast Dice and Desire, which is a brilliant Dungeons and Dragons podcast that I happen to feature in. Anyway, it's time to boil the potatoes now. I'm going to quite heavily season this water so that the seasoning really penetrates into the potato, but don't want to go too far. So yeah, obviously we can add salt at the end, but it's better if the seasoning penetrates into the core of the potato more so. I'm usually used to slightly bigger carrots than this, but you work with what you got, right? I'm sorry. I'm clean. Right, enough carrot funny business. This is the potatoes boiling away. I've actually made a separate video about my roast potato recipe, but basically boil, fluff them up like lots of people do, shake in the tin, little sprinkling of polenta into the preheated oil, and then turning regularly is the key. So we'll turn it 3 or so times during cooking, maybe 4, and they'll be, well, there you go, there's a little preview of what they look like. Anyway, let's make that happen. I don't like to go for anything too crazy. I think that amount is really good because we're going to dust polenta on it anyway. It's like Salt Bay, innit? It's like Polenta Bay. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm going to do it properly actually. Right, into the oil and toss. A little bit tricky because they're obviously kind of crumbly at this stage. I'm also going to take this opportunity to tip the bird and get some of the juices out of the husk to macerate the trivet. I'm not sure if I'm getting a very good camera angle here, probably not, but there we go. Okay, now for the carrots. We've got some butter there, and we're going to drizzle over some maple syrup. It's either like maple syrup, carrots. This combination goes really well. Because of the quantity of the carrots in here as well, I'm going to add a little bit of water because we're going to cover it in foil, so that'll help a little bit with steaming and brilliant, and also to stop the sugars from burning so much. So this will just give it some nice liquid to have. Like I just said the reason for why. Now we're going to put it in the oven. I've now prepared the broccoli with just a little bit of butter. I might put a tiny bit of water in there because we'll also cover that with foil before it goes into the oven. And next up I'm going to prepare the Yorkshire pudding tray. I think I'm going to use a tiny bit of goose fat along with a tiny bit of oil for each of them. Okay, it's now time for the broccoli to join the carrots and the chicken in the oven. Oh yeah, and the potatoes are in there as well, aren't they? It's now time to make the Yorkshire pudding, and you may be thinking, wow, that's a very yellow batter, and it's because we're using Clarence Court Burford Browns. These are like incredibly orangey, yolky eggs, and look at this cute Halloween packaging, which is pretty fun. Anyway, let's make these. Okay, this is where it gets tasty, guys. So the chicken is now out, and the oil for the Yorkshire puddings is in, and we're going to be rocking very soon. So what I'm going to do now is pour out the Trivet veg and the juices into our Nutri-Bullet, which will help us make the gravy. Now this might be unusual, but because we're resting the chicken and I'm going to cover it in foil for around 20 minutes, I'm going to take the skin off, and I will also put the skin in the oven to crisp up, because if we cover this and it steams, it's going to make the skin go soggy.
I've always bought Auntie Bessie. Have you ever had her?
Oh yeah, I'm aware of her. Yeah, hers are alright.
Didn't they have to change her name because of the sex discrimination thing?
I think that might be Aunt Jemima, and I think it was it was a little bit racist.
A little bit racist?
Yeah, which, well, any degree of racism is never ideal, I'd say. I apologise for the narration, the sync noise and other things. Oh no, it's fine.
Oh, they look nice. Wow. I looked up the smoking dog, see if it still exists, it does, but somehow the menu didn't sound quite as good. Wow, they come along amazingly well.
Yeah, well hopefully they'll be even better in a minute. Okay, so we just pour the trivet and the juices into our container. Now, like with the roast potatoes, I have actually made a video about how I make gravy. What I will basically do is combine this with a bit of water and whiz it up, and I'll also make traditional Arbisto gravy, which I like the best version, and then I'll combine them roughly 50-50, and I think this makes an absolutely incredible gravy. Okay guys, the Yorkshire puddings are in. I think they're just over halfway done now, so hopefully they'll pick up a bit of colour. There's actually they're a little bit cramped in there, but there we go. So the gravy is really going to come together now. Just a little bit of water in there.
Now, how do you deal with that then?
So this is like a Nutri-Bullet, which is like a food processor.
Oh, this is part of this one?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a wonderful gravy by the look of it.
Yeah, my gravy's very good, to be honest.
So what do you do with it then?
So then I'll mix it with Bisto, because that'll be really rich how it is like that, because it's obviously got a bit of oil in and juices and vegetable. That'll be really salty and rich.
So what do you do? Do you just do it in this whizzing thing, or do you put it in the in a pan?
No, just like this. Literally
oh, it's
like
much
this,
easier then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mum and I used to go around to friends of hers that she'd known since before the war, and they used to have lunch at 3 o'clock, and I always assumed that they were wrong every time and they meant it to be 1, but it got right. I didn't realise that they deliberately aimed for it. Oh. So you see, are those 2 different ones, or is it all?
Yeah, so Claire likes hers a little bit thinner, so I'm going to make hers thinner.
Is that the telly still going on? Or
yeah, I think so. Yeah, we can do.
What do I do? Press what?
I can do it, don't worry. Okay guys, I'm now going to assemble the meal and I'll show you the finished final product. Some of the Yorkshires have deflated a little bit. There's some of our roasts. Carrots, broccoli, looking a bit nuked. Our chicken, our gravy, and we're just plating up now.
The potatoes are marvellous.
Oh, thanks, Dad.
Italians like broccoli.
Yeah?
Trying to remember what the word is.
Broccoli.
I think it's about the same.
Here we go, guys. Taste test. Got a bit of chicken and a bit of carrot on there.
Sorry? Hello? Who are you talking to?
The chicken's really good. So as I think I mentioned earlier, it's got this temperature gauge that pops out when it's cooked, and that's meant the breast is really nice and tender. Potatoes are really crispy.
These are among the best potatoes I've ever had.
Wow. You know. How old are you, Dad? What's your age?
114, I think.
114, so there you go, guys. 114 years and among the best he's ever had, so. Broccoli nice and tender. Let's give a bang on these Yorkshire puddings. Great flavour, nice and rich from the Burford Browns. All in all, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you've got any questions about my process, let us know in the comments below. How do you do your roast? Do you have any tips for me? Let me know, guys, in the comments, and we'll see you next time.
I don't think you need any tips for the roast potatoes.
There you go, guys. Don't comment, you know. So, see you later.